Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to Utility Sports. Today, we are taking a close look at Aaron Gordon, his situation with the Orlando Magic. He has likely played his last game as a member of the Orlando Magic. He just doesn't seem very happy there, and his trade request was reported by Jared Weiss at the NBA and Sam Amick, both two reputable sources. Bleacher Report bringing the news here. Also, he kind of publicly confirmed his trade request, saying, just my frustration kind of boiling over there in Orlando. It does not sound like Aaron Gordon will be returning with the Orlando Magic. Look for them to pull the trigger. He's having a pretty nice year, shooting about 39% from three. And remember, he's still pretty young. He's 25 years old, just about to enter the prime of his career. If he stays healthy, he's a quality NBA player. And I think a lot of teams are going to be looking for his athleticism, his ability to stretch the floor at the four position. He also has a unique ability to handle the rock a little bit at the position. We had talked about a trade to the Dallas Mavericks possibly. There will be a card for that here on this Dallas Mavericks video. But today we have four more trades that do not include the Dallas Mavericks that are good landing spots, in my opinion, for Aaron Gordon. I have them ranked in an order of least likely to most likely. So starting here with the least likely, it is Aaron Gordon landing in Brooklyn with the Brooklyn Nets. Here, the Orlando Magic get Tyler Johnson and Kelly Oubre. The Warriors land Spencer Dinwiddie and Timothy Luwawu-Cabarrot. This is an interesting move for a variety of reasons here. The Orlando Magic get Tyler Johnson as a cap filler. The Nets needed to move a little bit more money in this deal to make it work. And the Magic bringing Kelly Oubre, someone who I think fits in a little bit better with what their roster looks like at this point. I think they need more of a 3 than a 4. And I think that Kelly Oubre is an interesting piece. Maybe they get a second-round pick on top of this from a team like Brooklyn or Golden State. I'm not exactly sure. But I think that this is kind of requisite value. Remember, Aaron Gordon publicly just requested a trade, says he's not happy. That's a tough situation, especially when it's a player on a pretty expensive deal at $18 million a year. Is there going to be a real market for him? I don't know, and that kind of limits what his trade value is going to look like. That'll play into what some of these offers are. And here for the Warriors, they bring in Spencer Dinwiddie and Luwawu-Cabarrot. Luwawu-Cabarrot is a much better fit next to Andrew Wiggins on the wing there for the Warriors this season, in my opinion. That way they have a real floor spacer. Now, they do lose a lot of defense in this deal. I'm not trying to undermine that, but they get cheaper on the wing. And they also bring in Dinwiddie, giving them restricted free agent rights and bird rights to keep him around. Not restricted free agent rights, sorry. I just had meant to say bird rights. For Spencer Dinwiddie, they can go over the salary cap to keep him. And you're looking at a Warriors retooling for next season when Klay Thompson's healthy. Get Spencer Dinwiddie off the bench. This Warriors team's already looking a lot better next year. And the Nets land Aaron Gordon, someone who can space the floor for them, operate as a pick-and-roll guy, offers good athleticism, would be a great fit next to James Harden and Kyrie Irving. I think his fit next to Kevin Durant's a little clunkier. However, they are getting a lot better in this deal, in my opinion. Spencer Dinwiddie out for the rest of the year. Makes it tough. They're going to move Dinwiddie one way or another. Aaron Gordon would be an interesting one. However, like I said earlier, I think this is the least likely of the four trades I have cooked up here. Let's move into the second one now. This is between the Orlando Magic and the Portland Trail Blazers. And this kind of plays into what I was talking about with Aaron Gordon's trade value. He goes to Portland here by himself. And in turn, Orlando gets Rodney Hood, who's having just a down year off of that Achilles tear. You know, he's just not making that full recovery. Harry Giles III, that's a throw-in for cap space reasons. CJ Ellaby, a nice young player, maybe could develop into a little bit of something there for Orlando, can shoot the ball pretty decently. And Nasir Little is an interesting project, former first-round pick. Hasn't got a ton of run there in Portland. And they also pick up a 2022 first-round top 10 protected pick from the Portland Trail Blazers. That pick probably not going to be too great, but still an asset for the Orlando Magic. They also have Evan Fournier to move at this point. You could look at a real Orlando Magic reset at this point, maybe around Vucevic, or Vucevic could still find his way out as well. And then a real retooling around Jonathan Isaac and Fultz, who are both out this year. But at this point, Orlando really would be hitting the reset button. I'm aware of that. But that 2022 first-round pick could be valuable for them. Bank up an asset. Maybe you see where you're at a year from now with that whole thing. Gives you a year to see what CJ Ellaby and Nasir Little could be on the wings and really start to focus playing Jonathan Isaac at the 4 like I think they should be doing all along. For the Blazers here too, this is a no-brainer. You bring in Aaron Gordon at your weakest position. You need to improve in the front court around CJ McCollum, around Damian Lillard. Aaron Gordon, a great option. Gives you some of the athleticism that Derrick Jones Jr. has brought, but also a good quality floor spacer, like I mentioned earlier in the video, shooting over 39% from three this season behind the three-point line. The third deal here is between the Orlando Magic and the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are very, very desperate for a front court piece, especially at that power forward position. Aaron Gordon would be the perfect fit for them. Here, the Timberwolves would offer Ed Davis, Juancho Hernan Gomez, Jarrett Culver, a 2022 second-round pick, and a 2023 second-round pick. And in turn, the Wolves get Aaron Gordon. Now, my reasoning here on why there's no first-round pick involved, Jarrett Culver, a former top 6 overall pick in the NBA draft, still has some good team control. I think he fits pretty well into that Orlando Magic roster. And the rest of this year, maybe you get to ride him out, see if you can find something in him. Also, those second-round picks from the Wolves, very likely still going to be top 35 or 40 in those drafts, respectively. The Wolves aren't going anywhere in a hurry. Those picks aren't going to be terrible assets themselves. You can still move them, and you're getting 2 of those that are a year and 2 years out at this point. Hernan Gomez also still young. And for the Wolves here, you get a no-brainer pickup in Aaron Gordon, someone who fits into what your roster is. Could be a really nice piece next to D'Angelo Russell, Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards. There's just not a lot of room for Jarrett Culver anyway at this point. Malik Beasley's kind of eaten up a lot of those minutes as well. Aaron Gordon, a much better fit into this roster, a much better piece next to the guys that you want to build around. I think this is a no-brainer trade for the Timberwolves. And I think now this is the final trade here that I've got, this very next one. Let me know in the comments what you think of these trades so far. Let me know if there's a single trade here that you guys would do, who you think Aaron Gordon will ultimately get traded to. I'm very interested to find that out from you guys, what you think. And also hit that subscribe button if you are new to Utility Sports. But this final trade here is a trade between the Orlando Magic and, you probably guessed it, the Denver Nuggets. Here the Magic get Paul Millsap for salary cap space reasons. Gary Harris, who's only 26 years old, only a year older than Aaron Gordon. Zeke Naji, a very young player out of the University of Arizona. I thought he was a pretty quality draft prospect coming in. I think he's got good two-way potential. They also get a 2021 first-round pick and a 2024 second-round pick in exchange for Evan Fournier on his expiring deal and Aaron Gordon here. You see the 2 assets that the Magic are really going to be flaunting in Fournier and Gordon out the door now to Denver in a big-time move for the Denver Nuggets, currently the 6th seed out west. They are putting their chips into the table, trying to build a contending team around Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Fournier, Gordon, both good fits there. Fournier stretches the floor pretty well, can also get his own shot off in the mid-range area. Aaron Gordon, I've said it multiple times already throughout this video, what he brings to the table, I think he'd be a great fit next to Jokic with his passing. And the Nuggets are much better. That is a severe upgrade over Paul Millsap, in my opinion. And for a pretty good price, you only give up your first-round pick this year. Zeke Naji, you don't want to see him go out the door. That hurts a little bit. But the Nuggets have so much depth that they can afford to do it. Maybe the Nuggets are more willing to give up Bol than Zeke Naji and that first. We'll see. That could be another thing to watch. Let me know if you think Bol will get traded this deadline. He could be an interesting guy to watch as well for Orlando. But I think Orlando here would be pretty happy with their return. You get a first-round pick, a young player in Gary Harris, 26 years old. Maybe you get a chance to see what he can be when he's the lead guy for a little bit down the stretch of this year. Zeke Naji, also a young player, very young, actually 20 years old. Quality 4, he kind of fills in those Aaron Gordon minutes with Jonathan Isaac out. Maybe you get to see what you could develop him into. Also a 2024 second-round pick. You're building up some assets for the future. I think that this is probably the best package for the Orlando Magic, but I'd love to know what you guys think in the comments below. Subscribe if you are new to Utility Sports. We love having you guys a part of what we do here. We post every single day here at Utility Sports. We love all the support you guys have shown us, and we'll catch you in the very next video.